Hello and welcome to Willow Talk, and it's a good time to be talking about Test cricket. Given what we've witnessed over the last couple of days, Adam Peacock alongside Alyssa Healy. How are you?
Good. I'm sleep deprived.
Yeah?
But it's been good.
You're a proud wife?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I have to say that, don't I? Yes, I am very proud, and I'm sure we'll dive into it a little bit later, but an amazing morning. Obviously, we're recording on a new morning.
Yes, Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
So it's a later release. Sorry about the delay, but we kind of had to fit in with the test schedule.
I mean, we waited for one result. We got two.
Yeah.
So pretty amazing. Lots to talk about.
Exactly. I was giggling there because if you did something grand, like played your 100th test or 100th game and took your 400th wicket or 400th catch or whatever like this, I would have asked Mitch the same question. He would have gone, oh, yeah. He would have given exactly the same answer.
Yeah, because you feel like everyone just rolls their eyes at home. They're like, oh, yeah, that's the wife. She's got to be proud. And of course we are, but you got to downplay it. You can't pump him up too much.
FOMO, or are you excited about the prospect of going for a catch this morning in 11 degrees in the west of Sydney instead of being in Jamaica enjoying a victory?
Ooh, much of a muchness. Even keel. Oh, no, I would have loved to have been there. I mean, Hads is probably in heaven right now. He's got a long break before the T20 start, so no doubt he'll be enjoying himself. But would have been nice to be there, but at the same time, doing my job, preparing well.
Yep, and a 42-hour flight one way and a 42-hour flight
yeah.
other way. It kind of was it. I'll just watch it on the telly. Yeah, that's all right. It's a bit like
I watched it on my laptop in bed, so I mean, I think I'm living the dream in that regard.
So we're initially going to top this rundown with India, England, not thinking that Australia, West Indies was going to be. But then Mitchell decided to take the new pill in the second innings of the West Indies, and then that was the end of the section. So we'll get into that shortly. But I am looking forward to the chat about India, England, England-India, the third test. Fantastic test match overall. 22 runs the margin between the two sides, but there is a bit to unpack out of that one. We're going to finish with Sundries, where Italy... Joe Bernzolino has led Italy to the T20 World Cup. I don't know why I'm handing it's a fantastic effort from cool. Joseph. So we'll talk about that a bit in Sundries. And make sure you follow us on social media. Just search Willow Talk. Just search Willow Talk Podcast. It's been a big few days on Instagram and TikTok. Plus head to Listener Sport on YouTube. Now, Capagram has left a comment on Instagram. I can't believe we're leading with this, but anyway, we are. My wife wants to know if Mitch has a six-pack, Healy.
My question is, why does your wife want to know? And my answer is, actually, we did get a delivery the other day, and I think it had bottles, and there was 6 of them in there. So, yeah, he probably does have one. Okay,
there you go. That might be a hidden message into what that six-pack is. What is that?
What it's fueled by?
What is it?
Whiskey.
A six-pack of whiskey?
No, I don't know what it was, but rogue question. But
Very
I'll
rogue.
leave it at that.
This is a better question, cricket-related. Hazza, who gets the match ball, Starc or Boland?
Actually, I wonder that, but I saw Scotty run in there and grab the stump, so I assume that Mitch would get the match ball, obviously getting his 400th wicket and a fifer. He takes priority with the match ball, but Scotty got a stump, so pretty decent effort. Yeah,
my mate Gav, who listens to this show as well, he put on our group chat this morning, peak Scotty Boland to take a hat-trick and not be the highlight.
Yeah. I'm like, it was really cool that he got a bowl. Like, that sounds really dumb, and it sounds like I'm talking about under-12s cricket. It's like, well, Adam's come on to bowl, and they're giving him a crack. But I really love that Paddy gave him the opportunity to have a bowl, because he's the guy to do something as crazy as that. And I mean, to think of the opportunities he could have had throughout his career, but to see him get a hat-trick today was pretty cool.
Very special, very special. Now, a reminder for listeners, if you want to wear your club cricket hats, send them to producer Joel and we'll wear them during the episode. The episode notes have all the details of where to send them. Feel free to leave us a review on Apple and Spotify while you're at it as well. Like Kieran did, he said on Apple Podcasts, I'm a big Brad guy, but Heels brings the energy and gusto. 11 out of 10. I love referring to Starc as Mr. Healy. You guys are getting people excited for Test cricket. Love it. There you go.
I'm thrilled that he thinks I bring the gusto, because more often than not I'm dying when I'm in here. Like,
well,
I've had flu after flu, I've come in after running sessions.
Yeah.
And look, I'm still bringing the energy at him.
Well, maybe we've got the right order today in that we're doing this episode before your training, before your pre-season training, not after.
On 2 hours sleep. Yep.
Yeah, excellent. Let's get into it. Australia-West Indies, top of the rundown after what happened on the morning or the afternoon of day 3 over there at Sabina Park, where it was an absolute rout. Australia 225 and 121. We're thinking, geez, we can't bat. And then we thought, geez, we can bowl. 143 all out West Indies and then 27 all out by some margin. Their worst at home. Second lowest score in Test history. New Zealand cricket fans were getting a little excited because the Windies were on track to score less than 26. They didn't beat that record that has been standing since 1955, but they gave it an almighty shake.
I think Sam Constas probably won't be invited back to New Zealand anytime soon.
Yes,
because
him and Haddon.
because I have a funny feeling that maybe if he had taken that catch that they might have got under that 26 and New Zealand might have been a little bit happier with proceedings. But how quickly did that just all unfold? I mean, this morning itself, I feel for someone like Alzari Joseph, who bowled the absolute house down last night, got the West Indies in a position where, I don't know, probably seemed like a few too many runs, but got themselves in a position that, you know what, we can get this if we apply ourselves, and then for it to all just unravel as quickly as what it did this morning here in Australia was quite remarkable to see. Yeah,
it was. And we're going to big up the fact that Australia did the business with the ball. We'll get to the bat and the West Indies and where they're exactly at in a moment, their feelings of it. Later in the week, we'll catch up with Hads, who's over there, who's probably having he's maybe going to put his arm around Darren Sammy and just have a talk about life, I think, given what happened. Yeah. But when Mitch stood at the top of his mark at the start of the innings, did you think that 6 for 9, the old Michael Clark figures from back in the day, a 5 for in 15 balls, 3 wickets in the first over, that was on the cards? Well,
I mean, anything can happen. 21st wicket off the first ball of his career. I mean, that's pretty
cool.
It's pretty silly, isn't it, in Test cricket? I mean, that's a pretty amazing stat. But that's what I feel like. Anything can happen when the pink ball, when you get one that swings, when you get one that moves with our bowling attack, you know that anything can happen. And Mitch got it right. I feel like he got a lot right in the first innings, probably didn't get as much reward as potentially he could have, but got it very right in this fourth innings and just was looked unplayable.
Yeah.
They found it hard. When that ball swings, it's so hard. You know exactly what he's trying to do. He's going to run in, bowl quite full, swing it back into the stumps. Still can't hit it. It's remarkable.
No, because it's only doing just enough.
Yeah.
It's not doing heaps.
Yeah.
When you say there about the ball and you get one that swings, I don't know if you've spoken to Mitch in detail about this, or maybe you know from back in your day from opening the
my fast bowling career, yeah.
The 12s.
2 games of it.
But when you get the pill in your hand before you've actually bowled a ball with it, do you know, this feels good in my hand and it's going to do something, or is it complete lotto? It's not until you release the first couple that you go, oh, this ball is handy for us.
I'm going to speak just on hearing bowlers talk. I think there's a real sense of feel, like if the ball feels good in your hand and you feel like it's in shape, first and foremost, and the overhead conditions and whatnot help as well. But when they get a good feeling in their hand, more often than not, good stuff happens. So that's why choosing the ball is so important, and probably getting a good gauge of everyone's opinions on it in the bowling attack is probably ideal. But yeah, some just swing more than others, I suppose. Some just feel better, or some just are made different and do a little bit more. I mean, there's so much talk about the Duke's ball at the moment, but some are just tending to do a little bit more than others.
Yeah, we'll get to the Duke's ball a bit later on with what's happened over there in England against India. What I do want to say about Mitch's performance as well, I was very impressed with his high 5 efforts too. When he was taking those wickets, everyone was clean, and it was very Windies 90s like. You know, when Curtly Ambrose used to took a big wicket and he just used to hit everyone, he wasn't even looking at them. He was going like that. Hey, Mitch nailed the brief on everything.
To be fair though, he's got massive hands, right? So if you miss his hand, you're the idiot. Because if he's just put it out there and you're not high-fiving it properly, you suck. It's not him. It's not exactly line your elbows up with him either. It's like line it up to his nipple or something because it's so far away.
It was such a tough call on Nathan Lyon to miss out, and you can understand him feeling disappointed because he's really good mates with Mitch and he wanted to be there for his 100th test, obviously, and himself. He likes playing test matches for Australia. But given what Starc Boland did in that second innings, you can't really say that the selectors have had a mare, have they?
Well, I mean, you can't really think that picking Scotty Boland at any point is going to be the wrong call, knowing what he can do with a red ball, but knowing what he can definitely do with a pink ball as well. Terrifying. So, yeah, I'd imagine Nath was probably pretty disappointed. I think it snapped like one of the longest streaks of playing test match cricket.
When fit.
Yeah, when fit. So, pretty amazing achievement from him. But, yeah, look, I think the selectors in this occasion got it right. He'll be back in for the first Ashes test, no doubt. He's not going to miss a lot of cricket this summer. So, but it was nice to see Scotty get a run around.
Yeah. I mean, Shane Warne got dropped in the West Indies.
Oh, there you go.
Back in the day.
Oh.
It did happen. Like you're looking at me as if I'm talking about something that happened in the Jurassic era.
Well,
it wasn't that long ago.
It was a while ago, Adam.
It was
probably only 2.
It was 99, actually. It was just before the 99 World Cup. So, yeah, you should have been paying attention there.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is it can happen to a spinner over there in certain conditions. But, yeah.
Well, you look at the way the wicket's played, and yes, he can still play a really crucial role, especially in a pink ball game with what the wickets were producing. But, I mean, when you got a fast bowler like that sitting on the sideline with the opportunity to really sort of nail at home how good this Aussie side is against West Indies, I think pull the trigger.
The Cricket Australia social media crew were on the boundary behind the wicketkeeper basically a lot of the time, and they've posted a few of Mitch bowling, especially when he's in rhythm in this second innings, and I couldn't think of many more unenjoyable prospects in world cricket than him with a pink ball. And it looked like he was running downhill as well.
Yeah.
Of course it would look like that.
Yeah, from below. Yeah.
So, just back to an old question that we got. Have you ever faced that?
Not
him at full tilt?
I faced him when he was coming back from injury. It was probably off about half a run.
Yeah.
But it's more like it's height and the angle for me. Like I was going forward to balls that were hitting me on the splice of the bat because in our game we don't tend to find that too much. Julian Goswami was the tallest female bowler and still wasn't getting as much bounce as what Mitch was. So that was uncomfortable. But as soon as I hit him back over his head, he started running in a little bit quicker and the ball came a little bit faster. But I've kept to him at full tilt a couple of years ago when he came up while we were on camp and he needed to bowl out in the middle. So I said I'd catch a few. And they hit the gloves hard. Their ball's slightly bigger as well. So for me, little tiny hands with my gloves on, I was battling a little bit. But you're right. It's weird probably for everyone that's coming out of my mouth as his wife, but it's pretty amazing sight watching him. He's so athletic, watching him run in and just so rhythmically let it go at such pace. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, like was it part of your wedding vows? Was it that? I shall not bowl at more than 50% velocity to you.
No, we
actually death do us part.
We quite legitimately got banned from training together because at one point in time, so Mitch's best mate, who's my batting coach, he runs a little cricket centre out at Breakfast Point, and I still go train there most weeks when I'm at home. But back in the day when we used to live there, we used to train together quite a bit, and we got too competitive at one stage that we were both trying to hit the cover off the ball at one point that it was getting really dangerous, so we got banned from training together probably at about, I reckon we were 21, so we haven't trained together since.
Good, and it's worked.
We shall remain separate.
It's worked. 400 test wickets, 100 test matches, a win in extraordinary circumstances. Rank them for him. 400 is pretty special. I know 100's like we talked about it. That's more in the lead up, I would have thought. But
I love the 5-5. He hasn't actually got a lot of 5s in Test cricket. He's got a lot of 4s.
Yep.
So if you're wanting me to rank them, the 5 for in 15 balls is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I definitely know he won't mind about the 400 wickets. I think that would be really special to him, no doubt. But I think the 100 tests will be just as special.
Yeah.
Well, more special. The most special. That's a pretty cool stat.
Absolutely. Just having a look at those two have taken more than 400 Test wickets. Well, Mitchell's now on 402, and he's just behind Curtly Ambrose on 405, so he can go past Curtly in the first Test when he gets back here. We'll celebrate it properly, but there's no duds on this list, as you'd expect, with Wasim Akram, Richard Hadley, Sean Pollock, Kapil Dev, Dale Steyn, Courtney Walsh, and all the way up to the top to Murali, Shane Warne, Jimmy Anderson, the best quick on top there. So he's only got 402. He's only got 302 to catch Jimmy Anderson as the leading wicket taker.
I actually think he's got, 12, 13 wickets to get this summer to take over Wasim Akram, and he'll be the best left armour. So
best left armour. Okay, we're looking at that.
Yeah, I'll just drop that one in there.
Yeah. Well, we'll throw that one in there. We've got to have something to... We're all
anyway,
about
should we talk about someone else?
Let's talk about West Indies with the bat.
Yeah.
It was what?
Tough going. I think I actually really enjoyed... I love listening to Ian Bishop. He's one of my favourite commentators to listen to because he's just honest. He's quite forthright in what he says, and he just summed it up perfectly this morning that he says he remembers a story back in the day when... their fast bowlers in a team meeting stood up at one point and said, enough, like, we can't carry you guys any longer. You batters need to stand up and start doing something. And he kind of summed that up perfectly, this is what's going to happen for the West Indies. They've got this really cool, young, exciting fast bowling attack that's going to carry the load for this team for a long period of time, but their batters have got to find a way, or they've got to find some batters if they need to find new ones, but the batters have got to find a way to dig in there and give them an opportunity to be at their best and bat for days. And create opportunities to win test matches off their bat. So I actually think they're a really young, exciting team. And I said that leading into the series, that they're not a bad side. Right. They came up against a really good attack on some tricky wickets. You looked at our top order struggled right throughout the series as well. So it wasn't easy. But if they can find a way to hang in there with the bat and give their bowlers an opportunity to freshen up, to get back out there and rip in, I think they're going to actually be a really challenging side to face.
Yeah, and it's not as if they went out and played ridiculous. They were trying to play ramp shots or late cuts on something that was too close to them, or hit one over mid-wicket into the ocean. It was, it's just very, very good bowling. And people might say, this is a byproduct of T20, but you have a look at the lowest test totals, innings totals in men's cricket in history. And this is, the top 8 or the 8 worst. There's only one in modern times. The previous closest to that was 1955, that one that we were talking about at the top there with...
Was that New Zealand?
That was New Zealand.
New Zealand.
But other ones, like, I don't know what was going on at the turn of the century last century, but there was some awful performances, especially from South Africa. Like, they skittled for, 30. The nearest one was India 36 at Adelaide Oval when Josh Hazlewood just started putting it on the top of off and they couldn't contend with it. So it's not... It feels like a modern day problem that batters just do not have the defensive capabilities anymore to contend with good bowling. But hopefully this remains a bit of an outlier, especially for the West Indies as far as they're concerned.
They've got some real talent in there. That's like their lineup's not bad. Like some of the guys that are playing in that team know how to play cricket. They've played a lot more white ball cricket than what they have red ball. And it's obviously a learning curve, and we're saying the same thing about our Aussie batters at the same time. It's a learning opportunity. So if they get an opportunity to play more test match cricket, that's the only way that you grow as a batter in that format. But I think they've got the capability, definitely, and have the opportunity to go up the gears and score really quickly as well, which is cool and fun to watch.
Cam Green, number 3. So 46 and 42 in this test match, which I think...
It's about 160...
No, I was going to wait it, say something like a Bill Ponsford 300 on a road back in the day.
Yeah,
it's a good return. It won't look great at the end of his career. They almost should have asterisks next to this test match and say anything over 30 was raise the bat time.
Yep.
A lock at 3 now. That kind of solidifies what everyone thought was going to happen, that he's going to be the 3 for the foreseeable future.
Well, I think Travis said actually when he made 50, said that it was worth about 200. So he was carrying on that way in the second test match. So yes, I think anyone who made a solid contribution should feel pretty pleased. But yeah, I think so. I think once again the issue will be what happens when he starts bowling again. What does that do to the balance of our side? I don't know what's going to happen and what decision they're going to make. But I guess having Bo Webster in there maybe is an opportunity for him to stay at 3 and maybe not have as much of a role with the ball as well. So, but I thought he looked great. I thought he problem solved beautifully throughout the series. He made some really good decisions with bat in hand and looked to cash in when the ball was there. And I thought that was awesome to learn as he went. So yeah, I hope he's number 3 for that first test in Perth, and we get the balance right.
You could look at it and go, well, if he does start bowling, not to overload him, but still get him the pill, and then that opens up the possibility of maybe getting a Josh Inglis in there, with all due respect to Bo Webster, not trying to retire the guy. Slug from snug. I don't want to degrade the man, but there's options. There
is, and I don't think, and we'll probably look at this later in the year, I don't think it's time to sort of name the 11 now, but...
Oh, no, that's what we're about.
You can't... Oh, right, okay, so we're going to name it 6 months out, right?
Yeah, and we're going to hold you to it.
No, but I think now that you've given him the opportunity there, he's been on a tough wicket and he's found his way through that. I'd find it hard to remove him from that number 3 spot. And you also, I don't think it's any justification leaving Bo Webster out with what he's done as well. He's been really good in that middle order, and it'd be pretty brutal to see him removed. But like I said, I think maybe with Bo Webster actually in the side, he could take a couple of those overs off Cam Green as a little bit of a rest up if need be, and take a little bit of that load. So it could actually work in our favour.
As always with Australian cricket, okay, we win a test series away from home 3-0, which when I was 9 years old would have sent like
pretty big deal.
Impossibility at the time. However, there's always a crisis.
Yep.
And at the top of the order, we have a crisis.
Yeah.
We have an emergency that needs solving right away. Sam Constas, 50 runs in 6 innings, which weighted, that's about 150 over the 6 innings. No, but in all seriousness, he looked a little, I wouldn't say all over the shop, but a little confused. Usman, where's he exactly at? Marnus, and now the Shield schedule comes out this week, and we've got 4 opportunities for everyone to post some runs and say, pick me.
Yep.
Is that the way we're looking? It's just all on chips in on Sheffield Shield form?
I think so. I think it's wide open. I reckon there's a real opportunity for some guys in that. This is what happened last year, right? And it was like the Shield season came around and there was a real opportunity for someone to stick their hand up and nobody did. I distinctly remember that happening, and then we were lost again. But I think this year...
poor old Nathan McSweeney gets chucked in against Jasper at the unplayable.
Correct. So this year, I think, once again, we're having that same discussion that it's wide open. I'm not instantly dropping Sam Constas, but I think it's an opportunity for him to go back to Shield cricket in particular and relearn his own technique and the way he wants to go about it. He's probably the same as well. He'd probably need a little bit of a confidence boost heading into the Ashes series. And it's an opportunity for the guys that are sitting on the fringe at the moment to stick their hand up and go, I want that spot and pick me. So I reckon it's going to be really cool. We know exactly what we're going to be reading about leading into the Ashes, and it's those Shield fixtures, and we're going to be following every single person who lifts their bat or the guys that don't make runs, and we're going to be talking about it. So I think they need to start preparing themselves for that now, that narrative's going to be out there, and strap in and see what happens.
With Sam, did it look like he had that seeded doubt that was flourishing into a big forest of uncertainty in his mind, if I want to go down a kind of flower power kind of route with the explanation there? But in all seriousness, like, does it take much, especially when you're opening the batting in challenging conditions, to go, oh, should I play, should I leave, what should I do? And that's where it kind of unravelled for him? Well,
it looked hard, right? And it's Test cricket, it is hard, and the conditions weren't exactly favourable for an opening batter. I mean, you got one of our most experienced guys at the other end finding it really tough as well. So then how do you expect a 19-year-old kid who hasn't played a lot of first-class cricket in the first place to then go out there and succeed on a wicket that's doing a lot against what we've just spoken about, a really decent fast bowling attack? So, yeah, I don't know. It's a really hard one, and you can kind of pick at every single little thing and all the decisions that the side has made, like leaving him out of Sri Lanka. I know there's been a bit of chat about that overnight where it ended up being not easy, but it was
easier than this.
Easier than that. So was that an opportunity to play him there where we've kind of thrown him in the deep end in this one? But I mean, at the end of the day, these are great experiences, as shit as what they are. They're great experiences for a young kid to go through now, right? There's an opportunity for him to go back and understand himself and his technique a little bit more and the areas that he needs to improve on. And sometimes you don't get the opportunity for these learnings. I mean, McSweeney's going through it at the moment, where he's gone back and he's like, this is what I need to do to succeed at test level. I get the opportunity to do that. So Sam's got that opportunity this off-season. Shield game's coming up. Go back, find some form, find some confidence in your ability again and show the selectors that, they weren't wrong in picking you in the first place and put your hand up for that first test.
It was a good run out he performed.
See, the exuberance of the youth in your side will chase that ball down and get a run out, right? So
not many would have made that into a run out.
Yeah, I definitely think there's something there for the future, 100%. And the selectors aren't dumb and the support staff aren't dumb. They see something in him that they like, but it's just how do we get that out of him without a lot of experience?
What's that like for performing at the top level when all of a sudden everything gets a bit clouded? And
it's so hard. Like it's genuinely so hard. And I think that's where you've got to be really strong in yourself and know yourself and your game inside out. And at 19, do you really know that? Probably not. You're probably still working it out exactly how you want to play.
47, you're still working it out.
Yeah, I've seen you shadow batting outside. There's a few issues there. And we're asking a lot of this young kid. So, and it's really hard when things get a little bit tough. You worry about your technique. You worry about how they're going to get you out, and you stop watching the ball. That's the first real issue, and that's all you really need to do. So, yeah, it's hard, but he'll work it out.
He'll work it out. Exactly. So over the series, you predicted a series score to be 2-1.
Oh,
wrong.
Did I?
You predicted.
I feel like Had said that.
No, listen here.
Roll the tape.
Predicted Sam Constance to score 150 runs.
He did.
Got 50, weighted accordingly. I don't know if it's 150, but
pitch adjusted, 150.
The Caribbean adjustment, no, not quite. Shamar Joseph to get 6 wickets. He got 22. Close.
To be fair, I didn't think he'd play the last 2 games. So
yeah, well, needed a few people. Anyway, that's another matter.
I was right on target.
Yeah, we'll leave that to the legal system in Guyana. And you predicted Travis Head to be the best batter. Close enough.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
No, I'll give it to Cam Green. Thanks.
Oh, rude.
He got that.
I think over the series, I think Heady was probably the most consistent. Bo Webster, Alex Carey as well.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, shout out to Brad Haddon, and we will bring this up later in the week with him about Alex Carey being a man for the occasion, then dances down the wicket.
Crisis. Yeah.
And nearly unhinges his shoulder joints by trying to swing at a ball that he probably shouldn't have, and he gets out. I do want to know from Hads, he'll report back later in the week, what they do with the team song situation with Alex Carey out of the second innings, with Josh Inglis taking the gloves because he had concussion. It was concussion protocols that didn't allow Alex to be out there for the rout, the 27 all out. But does that mean that he can't sing the song?
No, he's fine. Oh, so I should say that concussion is a real thing. You've only got one brain, guys. Be careful. No, he'll be fine. I mean, even if they have to sing it really softly so that he doesn't get a headache, I think he'll still be leading the team song, guys. With
a Pepsi in his hand instead of a...
Yeah. Just look after himself because concussion's not fun.
No.
So
no.
You need to be careful.
Exactly. We are off to a quick drinks break, and a reminder later in the week we'll catch up with Hads over there in the Caribbean to give us his take on what went down in that remarkable morning of cricket that saw Australia wrap up the series 3-0 and Mitchell Starc get his 400th wicket, a fifer and 15 balls, and bowl the Windies out for 27. Thank you very much. But after the break, we're going to chat about this spicy third test between England and India, which the English, led by their Kiwis, got it done. It was one of the best test matches I've seen, and I was transfixed.
Yep, same.
To what was going down at Lord's. Your overall take on England getting it done by 22 runs in a game of cricket that pretty much had everything.
I just thought, what an amazing game of cricket. I mean, they're not. I should tread very carefully here, but they're two teams that I don't mind seeing lose. So them going head to head. For me, I just could not take my eyes off it because it wasn't necessarily the result that I necessarily cared about, but it was the way that both teams were going about it that I could not stop watching. So I loved it.
Can I repeat what I put on the group chat yesterday about
Please
how
do,
I
so
summed it up? See if people relate to this.
I would rather you say it because your social media gets smacked, not mine.
Okay, cool. So did you go to a co-ed school?
Yep.
Okay, so you would have seen this from time to time.
I hope not. What are you on about?
Oh, two boys that didn't like each other.
Oh, yes.
After school decide 3 o'clock, we're on.
Yep.
Out the back, away from teachers' prying eyes and everything like that. For me, watching this test match was like two kids at school that you didn't really like punch the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And you can just sit back and go, I don't care what happens. It's not going to change my life. But golly, it's entertaining.
Yeah, how good is it to watch it
It's
unfold?
so good to watch.
Yeah, both bleeding a little bit. Yeah.
And teacher Paul Rifle was in the middle there and getting involved and having that, but they were at each other the whole time.
It was spicy and I loved it. I mean, the chatter that was going on, some absolute dribble. I mean, Stump Mike was maybe a little bit loud and it wasn't overly flattering for Harry Brook because there was some
He's going on about the IPL.
Yeah, it wasn't imaginative, you know.
No.
Like if you're going to sledge, just like be a little bit funny, but he was just a bit boring by the end. But I just thought the contest itself, and I mean, say what you want about Ben Stokes, and we had a chat about him last week about his record of late, and it hasn't been great. Say what you want about him, but he's an absolute warrior. I mean, he went out and he bowled 24 overs in that last innings. Basically said, "Don't worry, guys, I got this. Bowling attack's probably a little sore. I'll do it."
Yeah.
Just charged in and wanted to get the job done. So, unbelievable. Just belief from that side that they can do it.
Yeah, and they did look like they were going to wrap it up way before they did, but Ravi Jadeja, one of my favourite cricketers, again, just fights, just found a way. I reckon he was lucky on the one that they overturned. I don't know, this technology sometimes, it looked like he was caught right in the middle of off stump. And then all of a sudden it was outside off stump. Anyway, but it was enthralling. It was engrossing. It was everything you want from Test cricket. It was everything that makes you believe, why don't we do more of this and why don't we celebrate this more? But, you know, us old ducks who just love our Test cricket.
Yeah.
So, but even my 20-year-old came into the room. He loves his 2020. He was like, oh, wow, this is great. So
entertaining, right?
Very entertaining.
It made me miss, it did, and I probably shouldn't say this for the sake of the current Indian team, but it made me miss Virat Kohli a little bit because I would imagine
throw him there.
He would have absolutely thrived in that environment, that hostile environment, trying to save a test match. He would have been absolutely frothing to be a part of that, but Jadeja tried his best.
Even Stokes' captaincy, he's getting a lot of plaudits, obviously, this morning. It's his victory and blah, blah, blah. But Rishabh Pant, who was quite obviously struggling, and we were wondering all test match, hang on a minute, you can't you can't bat the way you did in the first innings and then not keep. Like, how does that work? But you saw him bat in the fourth innings and you go, oh, yeah, he does have a genuine problem here because he was batting with one hand.
Yep.
So Jofra Archer's charging in from the pavilion end. Not entirely enjoyable at the best of times, I would imagine, especially with this guy running downhill at you and 145. But Stokes puts out a second man deep in the leg, and Rishabh Pant is in obvious discomfort, and then Archer just bowls this beautiful thing at the top of off and see you later. So fair bit of captaincy there that kind of changed the field, make this guy who's uncomfortable anyway think, oh, what's going to happen now? I'm going to have my head taken off. Yep. Bang, see you later, Castle.
But honestly, I actually thought they finally got it right to Pant. I reckon they let him off a little bit in that first innings because the one ball you don't want when you got a sore finger like that is a low fully or a Yorker because the more you have to jam down on that ball, the more of that thing just jars on the bat every single time. And I guess you can kind of get away with it. You might get hit a couple of times when the ball's bouncing a bit, but you can kind of rip your hand off the bat pretty quickly and protect it. The one time you can't protect it is when they start bowling that at you because you've got to have both hands on the bat. And I think Jofra Archer bowled a few Yorkers at him. Some jumped off a length, then he went a little bit fuller, and then, like you said, they put that man out with the threat of a short ball and just bowled an absolute peach. But I reckon that they finally got it right. They went really fast and full at him, and there's not much you can do about it when you got a sore finger. That hurts. No, exactly. I don't know. I haven't read the reports whether or not Pant's out of the rest of the series with that finger or how bad it is. Well, interestingly to me, like he didn't have anything on it, so he ripped his hand out of his glove as soon as he got out. There's no strapping, no nothing on it. Like no Coban, no. Normally if you break a finger or you've got an injured finger, you strap that thing up pretty quickly to make sure it doesn't swell too much so that, you can look after it. Nothing on it, no strapping, no nothing. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what is actually wrong with it.
Yeah, but he did miss a good a good second innings for England where there were 25 byes. And Jarrell, I don't reckon many of them were his fault because the ball was just after it went past it. We know in England it moves a bit after the stumps. That was ridiculous what that ball was doing.
He's a really good keeper too, and I think someone made comment on it in commentary. I hope he shares his match fees with Jarrell, who did all the hard work behind the stumps. But he's a good keeper, very athletic, and did a fantastic job. I just feel I feel so bad for him that he didn't get an opportunity to bat. I mean, I feel like in that instance, you may as well just sub him in, give him a crack with the bat. He's done all the hard work.
Jofra Archer, you worried if he rocks up and shows that kind of form for the Ashes?
I am, but I'm interested to see how much more cricket he plays in this series. So whether he plays the next one, misses the last one, or he gets through the next two, that'll be probably the more interesting. There's still a big summer of cricket over there to go, leading into an Ashes series. So, yeah, I think if he's going to show up and bowl the way that he did, 100%, but has he got 5 test matches in him just yet? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if they use him a la Mitchell Johnson when he was at his humming peak and 4 over spells, even though he bowled a longer spell at the start of day 5.
You can do that when you've got the bowling attack around you at the same time. I feel like, Bryden Cast has done an outstanding job throughout the series, but looked a little bit tired by the back end. And if you've got the attack around you, I think you can definitely use him in that regard. But at the moment, it was kind of like him and Stokes were the ones that were going to have to do the job in that last innings, and he had to bowl a little bit more than probably everyone would have hoped.
8-day break now before the fourth test at Old Trafford, where it's probably going to rain. So we'll get to the Oval at 2-1 England and see what happens. But it gives everyone a bit of time to chill out.
Yep.
So it doesn't carry on 3 days later you're at each other again. Was it over the top?
It won't calm down.
Was it over the top? And what set it off? Was it all Zach Crawley going the delay? It felt like a bit was happening before that. So at the end of one of the days, Zach Crawley eked out and we'll get to this in a moment.
Smart, I reckon.
I've got some rule changes for the ICC to consider here on this episode of Willow Talk. But smart because you can do it. But you had 6 minutes till stumps and he made sure that 1 over went 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and that's well within the rules, right?
Yeah.
And we talk about pace of play, but and losing overs in the day, but that doesn't happen in the last 5 minutes. That happens right throughout the day, right? And that's a constant issue. But that's well within the laws of the game, the whole spirit of the game. This grey area of rules that we seem to have to abide by. Not quite fitting in that, but I mean, when you talk about the game itself, India can't blow up about Crawley doing that then. When India, right throughout the day before, had a drinks break every 15 minutes. There were drinks being run out. Shubman Gill
had a 15-minute Thai massage in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah,
they brought out scented candles and brought out towels and oils and things like that. He was very comfortable. He was enjoying himself out there.
At the end of the day, if you wanted a couple more overs at that England top order, you probably could have sped things up throughout the day. So I think that's maybe where stuff started that, and I think there was a little bit of frustration throughout the series with some of the DRS and the umpiring, and there's been a bit of niggle there. There's been stuff lingering, and I think it finally just blew over, or got the better of everybody. But I loved it. I think it was awesome. I think the Siraj Duckett one, I think
it's a bit
good
harsh
cricket.
on Siraj for 15% of his
a little
match
bit. When you actually look at the footage, Siraj didn't change his line. No. It just happened that Duckett kept walking and copped a spray at the same time. So, and it's not a great look, and that's why the ICC come down on it. But at the same time, every single cricketer in that moment loves it because you see the passion. Duckett didn't respond. He just walked off because there's nothing you can do about it. And there was no real aggression to it. It was just genuine celebration.
Duckett did do, you have a look at the flight tracker of what's going on in the world right now and everything going like the long way to get to London around the Middle East. Duckett did do the old flight path diversion to get to way of Siraj on the way off.
The Ethiopian Airlines were like, hold my beer, straight through the middle of it.
Yeah.
Well, he did, but I mean, you got to get off the field somehow. Either that or walk straight down the wicket, right? So
he went via the taverners.
I mean, and as a batter as well, you got to cop it. And it sounds really stupid, but you you have to cop that because at the end of the day, the bowler always gets the last laugh. And he'll take that 15% and go, see you later, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, so recapping, Shubman Gill telling Zach Crawley to grow some effing balls, among other things. Duckett giving Gill a hard time for not scoring runs, which I found a trifle ironic given what he did in the first two sets. Tess, Harry Brook rabbiting on about IPL and things like that, but he's playing sweep shots to balls that he probably shouldn't have, so he thought he was at the IPL, I thought, during his second innings. It was all, is it, for these last two tests, it's about who holds their composure the most, or actually the other way, who gets under the opponent's skin the most?
It could turn that way, and I read some stuff about when teams go hard at Gill, that it can rattle him a little bit. So if England have even got half a sniff of that, then that's exactly what's going to happen, knowing how successful he was in those first two test matches. There's a way to get under his skin a little bit as the captain as well. If you can, teams generally go hard at the skipper. If you can get the skipper cheaply or get under their skin and rattle a few cages in that regard, then, you know, you feel like you're on your way. So yeah, if England even sniff a little bit of a weakness there, they'll ram that home. They'll go hard.
Yep. So just a couple of stats as well about the amount of times we saw the stumps rattled.
Yeah.
In this one. So England had 12 bowl dismissals out of their 20. Is that purely just conditions, good bowling, or they got an issue there with how they're trying to defend?
Well, I think when you're defending by stepping across your stumps and trying to sweep a fast bowler, that might be an issue with your defence. But I thought quite generally it was good bowling. They hit the right length. There seemed to be a little bit of a ridge on that 8 metre mark that they love to hone in on in the
nursery end.
In the stats.
Yeah.
And more often than not, if the bowlers found that, something happened, and a lot of balls were jagging back onto the stumps. So I thought good bowling. There's not a heap you can do as a batter when, you know, the ball's seaming back that far. It's a lot harder to keep that one out than one moving away.
Or when Washington Sundar's coming down as a spinner and not spinning the ball and just getting it past the outside edge of the bat, which he did a few times. It was the first spinner to get 4 bowled wickets at Lords, and incidentally, Joe Root, Harry Brook, Ben Stokes all bowled in both innings. Only the second time in Test history that a team has had 3 batters bowled in both innings. Last one was 1889. South Africa v England. How someone knows that stat?
God, we love a stat in cricket, don't we?
Big.
Is that going to change anyone's life, that stat?
No, it's not.
But thanks for sharing.
But I'm glad I said it. What I do want to see is change.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so firstly,
I'll let you know what the ICC says.
You tell me if I'm on the money here. Okay, I said it a few weeks ago.
Hat on.
Yes, the ball going out of shape.
Yep.
Sending the ball through the. Geez, I wish there was a better term for this. Ball rings. That. You can only, and Joe Root said it after one of the days.
You're just going to quote Joe Root?
Exactly. But
or is he quoting you?
He's quoting me.
Oh.
You can only have a certain amount of times. You can go up to the umpire and say, hey, pal, this is, and it's like a challenge. It's like a challenge. You keep your challenge if the ball is out of shape. If it's not out of shape, you lose that challenge and you're down to 0. You can't go up to the umpire and say, in the ball's lifetime of 80 overs, that you can't keep on doing it. It's ridiculous. It's delaying play. There was one session. It was one of the first day, one of the days, the first hour. It was 11 overs.
Yeah, that one was weird. And I've watched all the Stuart Broad stuff on the ball, and when an English fast bowler is questioning the Duke's ball, it's quite an interesting one because
it's a crisis. Right there.
There's not many times that's happened. But yeah, I don't mind your theory on it. But the most hilarious part about that test match is when India asked for the ball to be changed and got an absolute stinker when their ball was doing heaps. Why are you asking for that to be changed?
And then he started complaining about the fact it wasn't the same as the other one. Well,
why hand it over?
Yeah, exactly.
And also you could go with the umpire and say, no, we don't want that.
I don't think you can anymore.
Oh, have they taken that away from you?
They've been shooed away.
I know the rules.
I think. Well, someone will tell
Noted
us.
for the test match later in the summer when I asked for the ball to be changed.
What's Healy doing? What does she think she is? The umpire.
She's going to pick the ball out of the box. Yeah,
so
it's an interesting one, isn't it?
The second one.
I reckon you should only be allowed to ask once, but anyway.
Okay, yeah, fine. Exactly, I agree.
It's a stinker, just make it even more of a stinker.
Second one, end of a day's play. So say you've got, there's 10 minutes left in the day's play after the innings changes over.
You've still got 20 overs to bowl. Yep.
So you've got 2 overs right there and then, or 3 overs.
Yep.
They determine that, yes, we can get through 3 overs here. Mm-hmm. Take time out of it. Set it as they walk out on there, you're bowling these number of overs.
Yeah, but what if it gets dark?
It's England. It gets dark at 10 o'clock at night this time of year.
Then we're on the whole discussion about the never-ending test matches again, and we're going to go 9 days.
Not with three overs left in the day. If you're inside the last over and there's an innings changeover, you can't just then start making 5 overs into
Rebuttal.
3. Yeah.
So you've got 3 overs to get through.
Yes.
What if you take 4 wickets in that 3 overs, and next minute it's 8:30?
Well, you're probably not getting to the 3 overs because...
so they just cut it short.
No, 2.1, 2.2, you've taken a wicket. Thanks very much. That was the last over of the day. That's the last wicket. See you later. You're off the pitch.
Yeah, but you've just challenged your own rule.
No, I haven't.
Because you said take time out of it, but then you've got to finish that over.
Yeah, no. Stop applying logic in this sense, okay?
Just broke the studio in excitement.
It's not that great.
So it's like a super over. You only get 2 wickets in that 3 overs.
What I'm saying is if you get to the last over and then the wicket's taken, that rule stays. But what you can't have is...
You're adding another grey area rule.
No, it's not a grey area.
Add it to the spirit of cricket list.
You walk out there and you go, guys, we're bowling 2 overs.
Yeah.
Or 3 overs. That's it. We're not going by that clock. Right. Okay, time is infinite.
Yeah, but if we take 2 wickets, we're going off. So send 2.
If you take a wicket in the last, that rule
send your number 10 and 11 in, and then go see you later. And then your openers come out the next morning. Yeah, good.
You don't agree with me then?
No, I don't, because I don't think we need any more longer days.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Time's there for a reason.
Anyway, far out. Anyway. What is wrong with those Dukes balls?
I don't know. I'm not sure. And I think because for years they've always, like, there's been some complaints about the Kookaburra balls going soft, because the Kookaburra balls, the men's turf red balls are still handmade. So they're hand-stitched, handmade, everything's, whereas the Dukes balls are all machine-made. So they're more consistent generally than the Kookaburra balls, because there's some subtle differences in, how it's stitched and whatnot. So for years there was always this conversation on the Kookaburra should be machine made, but now all of a sudden, I don't know, the Dukes ball, maybe the leather's slightly off, or I don't know, the poor cows that they're getting it off, maybe they're not being fed properly. Yeah,
well, there's all kinds of things to take into consideration, but what we do know is that the people who bagged out the Kookaburra ball for that boring round of county cricket can go jam it after what has become of the Dukes ball.
Well, the only thing I can think of is it could be the lacquer. It's got to be the lacquer or the leather that's not quite right.
Well, they're a different colour these days.
Yeah, well...
And didn't they change how they do the Kookaburra ball as well?
No, don't ask me. I'm not a bowler. I don't care.
Just catch the thing.
Just catch it and hit it. If it goes soft, I've got to run a few more. But yeah, all I will say on the ball matter, if there's 2 teams kicking up a stink about it and that someone will do something about it because 2 teams are kicking up a stink about it, it's England and India. So if there's ever going to be a little bit of a shift in needing some different balls for this series, it's probably going to happen now, I would have thought.
Because what do they use in India? Is it the
It's like an SG.
SG.
They look like a Dukes.
So there was a report over there done in The Guardian that Rishabh Pant, who was blowing up about the Dukes ball and throwing it and everything like that, he's actually on the books of SG. And Dukes are trying to get into India to corner that bull market. But there's a conspiracy going around that Rishabh is carrying on a little more than he needs to because he's trying to keep the business for SG.
Yeah, right.
There's that as well.
Oh, cool. There's backstories everywhere.
It's turning into a geopolitical kind of mystery.
Wow.
I'm not saying any of that is true.
Anyway, good luck to them.
Rishabh Pant, you can do what you want, pal, the way you bat. So, yeah.
His bats are good. That's all that matters.
Exactly. To Sundries, and we look forward to that 4th test, by the way, which starts on July 23 at Old Trafford. Rain, stay away, please. Italy have qualified for the T20 World Cup early next year, and we hope to talk to Joe Burns about this in the coming days. The Menenti brothers are there as well. They lost to the Netherlands, but both teams have qualified for the 2026 World Cup. Forza Italia.
How good. I mean, great story. The Moscow boys as well, from for those familiar with Sydney grade cricket. They've been around a couple of sides in Sydney, but how good. I think it's an amazing story for cricket. That there's a fresh face in the T20 World Cup, and obviously Joe Burns isn't a fresh face. We know him and we know the Menenti boys, but to see a new side running around in 2026 will be really cool.
Who we got? List of teams qualified: India, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Australia, Bangladesh, England, South Africa, West Indies, United States, Ireland, New Zealand, Pakistan, Canada, Italy, Netherlands, and there's 5 more teams. That's 20 teams.
I think there's still some Asian qualifying to go, and
Africa
maybe
qualifiers
African.
as well.
Yeah, so we'll know a little bit more closer to time. But
October is when we're going to know all 20.
Nice start. I think it's a cool story, and we're going to probably learn more and more about this side over the next 12 months leading into it.
Exactly. Australia A, by the way, are taking on Sri Lanka A in their 4-day tour match. Nathan McSweeney currently on 94 not out. Liam Scott 54 not out as we record this. McSweeney too will be involved in that batting extravaganza for the Sheffield Shield. It's going to be the story of October, November in Australian sport. One of the great carry-on celebrations in an England grade cricket match. Have you seen this, Heels?
No.
So it was a great moment and celebration, and the batsman at the end of it, everyone carried on. Batter just so frustrated. He ends up kicking his helmet 20 metres in the air. It was like for those who watch State of Origin, it was like a Cameron Monster bomb. It went so far in the air, which leads me to this, Heels. What's the best ever blow-up you came up with for a frustrating dismissal?
I'm just watching it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let it play out.
Yeah. It's good. It's very good. It's very Village.
So hang on, you want to know best wicket celebration? Or
No.
Oh, worst blow-up?
Best Healy blow-up.
Oh.
Where maybe I'm thinking in your younger years that maybe you got some parental advice to say if you do that again, you're walking home, or surely you were good for a blow up.
Oh yeah, still am. I had to learn my lesson. I think I've told this story on the podcast before. Okay, my worst blow up was in the 2016 T20 World Cup. I was having a bad run of form. Got out again against South Africa. I think we were chasing not many. We didn't need many. Meg Lanning dying on the physio table. She was seriously ill, food poisoning. Got out, walked in, couldn't blow up in the change room because Meg's in there. Got to be a bit quiet. She's very ill. Walked into the bathrooms and proceeded. So I took my helmet off, placed it on thing because they're really important. Walked into the bathrooms, as you do, whacked my bat against the toilet door. Yeah. It came back and hit me in the head. It split my head open. So there's a photo. It was 2 days before my birthday. So the next game, there's a photo of me with stitches in my head. Anyway, I walk out and I've got a towel of pissing blood out of my head. You can see the scar a little bit. I've got a towel on my head. Meg's still on the physio table. She's like, "You're right." I'm like, "No." And then I walked out to the side to the doctor and said, I'm just going to need the doctor, please. Walk back in. Had to move Meg off the physio table for me to lie down so they can stitch my head back together. Anyway, we were 3 for shit, and then Meg had to go out and win the game for us. So I learnt my lesson then and there that stop doing dumb crap like that and grow up.
Who broke the ice with you to take the piss out of you to say that wasn't a very smart thing to do?
It was probably me. I probably walked down to sit on the
Once
bench,
you cooled down.
And everyone's looking at me what happened? And I was like, just don't worry about it.
Awesome.
What an idiot.
Awesome.
Idiot.
Well done. Okay, Major League Cricket finals. Mumbai Indians, New York defeated the Washington Freedom in the final. Poor old Ricky can't cop a break here. He's lost that one. He's lost the IPL final with Punjab, but he's got them there. That's the important thing. Yep. So plenty of names involved in that one. And Glenn Maxwell didn't quite get going. Glenn Phillips was involved there as well. A lot of Kiwis over there. But, let's have a look at this scorecard, shall we? It was 180 plays 175 and Washington Freedom.
Close. It was a good game of cricket, actually. It was on, as you do in Cricket New South Wales, it was on the big screen there, Cricket Central yesterday. So everyone was tuning in.
Jack Edwards involved.
Yeah, cheering on Washington, obviously, with their links to Cricket New South Wales. But good game of cricket. Obviously, just couldn't quite. I think Glenn Phillips not out at the end. Just couldn't quite get him off over the line at the end. But
well, it looked like Glenn Phillips and Glenn Maxwell were going to get them home, but not quite. Not quite.
Mitch Owen, player of the tournament.
Good.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not a bad 12 months for Mitch Owen.
Yeah, gone all right. BBL. MLC.
Yep.
Filling up the bank account. Much deserved.
Yeah.
Heels, enjoy your catch.
Thanks.
And enjoy getting drunken phone calls from the Australian cricket team in a few hours' time as well.
I'll just turn my phone off. It's fine.
Please tell me they're going to have a bit of a good time of it. They've got no option. They just go back to the team hotel, not allowed to go out and enjoy each other's company.
Well, maybe they'll get $100 worth of KFC like Hads did back in the day.
Send Hads down to get the KFC because surely he's staying in the same hotel and we'll catch up with Hads later in the week.
Yep.
Cheers, Heels.
Thank you.
All praise Mitchell Starc and Starc Boland. Yeah, thanks for watching the Willow Talk podcast on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't have to miss an episode wherever you are. And while you're at it, check out these videos up here. They're mostly good.